Hey guys, a big thank you for getting me to past 100 subscribers. You may know my channel as a blacksmithing channel, but I thought about, doing something special for this 100 subscriber special, or whatever you want to call it actually. So I thought of something different, and I'm not just a blacksmith, I'm also a sword collector. So I would like to show you my collection, basically. So let's get to it. Here is one of my more favorite ones in my collection. This is the Geisha's Blade Danish War Sword. Let's get this out of the way first. Alright, here it is. This is, hold on, I got a cheat sheet here so I don't forget specifications. The overall length of this is, what's that? 62.5 inches. So as you can see, it's on the floor right now, and it goes up to my eye level. All right. This is 1060 high carbon steel. Oh, and just so you know, this is an Oakshot Type 18E from the Oakshot's typology of medieval swords. Here, let me give you guys a closer look. There's the blade. Right, there's the point. The edge is not that sharp. It's okay, but it's one hell of a thruster. I mean, this is one of the meanest points I've seen on a sword. It has this massive ricasso here with a fuller that runs along it, and a very interesting guard. See, I've always been known, I've always been told that guards are supposed to be proportional with the handle. So if you get the length of the handle, here, hold on, get in the frame. If you get the length of the handle, the guard should be the same size, but I guess not in this case. So a very interesting piece. It's around 4 to 5 pounds. I couldn't get the exact weight measurement. Let's see if I fit this all into frame. Just about ish, kinda. Here, let me show you the pommel. There, it is peened on the end. It's actually the peen part's actually rusting a bit, but that should be okay. There are these really nice wires that go around parts of the handle here. I really like that. This is very similar to Albion's Dane, which is also a Danish war sword. Very similar to this. It's just the only difference is that this is bare wooden handle. Albion's, I think, has a leather wrap that goes around this, and then they add the wire. So yeah, this is sword number one. One last good view of it right there. And also guard, handle, and pommel. All right. Oh, it also comes with this sheath here, which is pretty neat. I'm not used to big great swords having sheaths, but this is nice. I got this second hand, by the way, but on Geisha's Blade, I think you can get it for 19,500 pesos. That's I'm not sure about the dollar conversion there, but I think I'll post it somewhere here or whatever. But yeah, the line, the European line is discontinued, so I don't think you can get this anymore. But yeah. Okay, next sword. Another great sword, by the way. This is the. Put that off. This is the Cold Steel Zweihänder. it's on the ground again. Goes up to my chin. This is actually small for Zweihander, I realized, but this is, I believe, Cold Steel's biggest sword in their line of swords. You get a good view of that. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really been taking care of this sword that much. It's pockmarked, full of rust spots and all that. But I did also get this secondhand for a very cheap price, actually. It's the edge it came with from the guy I got it from was fairly dull. I did sharpen it a little bit, which helps, quite a bit, but not a lot. Here's these parry hooks, which are quite pointy. Actually poked myself with one of those at one time accidentally. This Ricasso area, I forgot what it's called. It's got this, I think it's called demi scabbard. I'm not sure. It has this very thin, this oddly thin leather wrap here. I don't know if you can see that, but it is slowly coming off. It's strangely thin. Guard's got these nice ring hilts, good hand protection, and there's the handle. It has these really nice, what are they called, the wasters, I think. Not so sure. Pommel. I'm not sure how this is constructed. I have seen on threads that it is actually screwed on, but I cannot unscrew this. It's way too tight, so I can't end someone rightly. Memes. Anyways, as you can see here from all the usage, I do like swinging this around every now and then, so the leather actually eventually wore off. This is one of my more beat up swords, but I've done many things to this, like accidentally hit concrete with the tip, and the tip actually held up pretty fine. It's not as pointy anymore, but it's actually in pretty decent shape for what it's gone through. So specifications, oh yes, I almost forgot about that. Let's see here, standing too close to the camera. So yes, this thing is 6.8 pounds, fairly heavy sword, my heaviest sword actually. Its overall length is 55 and a quarter inches. Alright, 1060 carbon steel. Yeah. Some good view of that. Really shiny guard. I'm actually not sure what this is made of. It's non-magnetic. I did put a magnet up. It's not rusting. It's probably some really high chrome content stainless steel. So really nice actually. And yeah. This is secondhand. It's about all I could say for this. It doesn't come with a sheath, as expected. This is a sword for the battlefield. It wouldn't have a sheath, but it did come with this like really weird cardboard sheath here the guy made just for transportation. I like to keep it in it, but it is slowly falling apart. Okay, next sword. Actually, you know what? Majority of my swords are second-hand, so just, yeah. This is the guy I got it from said it was a willow leaf saber, or a Liu Dao, I think it's called. But upon further inspection, I think it's really more of a Bakwa Shen Dao, the Chinese two-handed saber. Here, as you can see, a very nice shaped blade right there. This is a custom-made one. The guy had it made for him. Let's give you a closer look. Ooh, what's that? Yes, it does have a few rust spots from when I forgot to oil it one time, but I did try to sand that down. So I don't know if you can see that right there. Here's the handle. I think this is I think it's synthetic leather. I'm not so sure. The guy didn't give me that much information about it. The guard is aluminum, so is the pommel here. What I find weird about this, okay, see, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but there's this, what looks to be the tang of the sword coming through right there. But when I held a magnet up to it, it doesn't stick, so I'm not sure what that is. It could be like a screw that connects to the end of the tang inside, so not so sure. Here's the blade. Nice small fuller that runs majority of the blade. It's very reminiscent to a falchion, actually, a European falchion. The edge is it's okay. Could use a bit more sharpening. Now, I don't know if this is just me, but when I look down the end, the back of the blade, the tip seems to be bent to my left a little bit. I tried bending it back, but this is some pretty flexible steel and it likes to hold its shape, which is good. Well, just not in this case because it doesn't want to bend back, but the steel could be most likely 5160 spring steel. It's very common to use that here in the Philippines, from Leaf Springs, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, a really nice nice sword. So yeah, it came with this sheath, a nice synthetic leather sheath. It seems to be the same texture and somewhat the same material as the handle wrap, except this one feels a lot softer. This one's a lot stiffer. It has like some foam in it and all that. It's actually open in the back, so the sword can fit through because of the huge point. It has also these clips here to hold it in place. So it goes in like this. Let's see if we can get in there. Alright. Closes just like that. Okay. Next sword. So this one here is a bit of an interesting one. I actually got this as a long sword. This was my only long sword. It was a Type 13A, I believe. But after maybe 6 months of use, I displayed it on its stand, and when I went back to get it, I noticed there was a crack along the further part of the handle. This used to be longer. And I didn't know what was going on there, so eventually I took it apart, and as I was taking it apart, the tang inside actually snapped. It broke further down, and it was due to a weld. It looked like the tang was welded, not a rat tail. The tang looked like it got thin at one point, and then the guy made a scarf weld to support it, which eventually gave out. So what I did is that I just got the blade, pushed the shoulders up the blade to get more tang, and then just made it an arming sword, inspired by Norman design. It's a bit unwieldy for my taste. The center of balance is about 7 inches from the guard, which is pretty pretty far up. So this is a pretty strong, powerful cutter. This is also the first. This is also the first sword thing that I did. That I tried mucking around with at my forge, and due to that, the guard actually wiggles quite a bit. I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, I still like it. You know, I've never handled an arming sword before. Here, I'll give you a good view of it. This steel is 5160 spring steel, and that is confirmed. Okay, there's the guard. this was actually somewhat inspired by the Albion Gudhilt. This pommel actually is not so common. I don't think you see, this isn't historical, but what is though is that Vikings would actually, or Normans, whatever, 10th to 9th century Scandinavia, they would make a pommel like this and then put in lobes here. That's where you get the 5-fingered pommels. And they'd stick those lobes in by riveting it to the back of this. But I don't have the skill or patience to do such a thing, so I just left it like this. I think it looks nice. So yeah. One last look, I guess, yeah. Pretty shiny, although as you can see there are still some grind marks there, which is hard to polish out. This steel is very hard. Not so flexible either. That's as much as I can flex it right there. So yeah, and this is a sheath, or scabbard actually. Sheaths would be a soft material, flexible. This is a hard material, therefore scabbard. The scabbard was actually, it did have the guard of the old longsword had a point right here, a peak. So the scabbard actually did have a gap here to or an area here to fit that in nicely. I grinded that flat so that it could fit nicely there. So there it is. I didn't really take time to take that many specifications of this sword because I'm the one who fixed it up. Okay, next one. As most sword collectors do, they have a katana. This one is the, what was it, the Keidama Ryu katana, also by Geisha's Blade, same guys who, same brand as the Danish war sword here. Let's give a nice view of that. This is actually the third katana I've had in my hands. The first one was really as the first sword in my collection. I eventually sold it. The second one came with this, but that second one is was bought specifically to be sold to a friend of mine. So yeah, this is katana. Here, put that down first. All right. I am actually planning to sell this again, as I really want my collection to mainly be of European swords. Yeah, that's a really nice blade. I mean, I'd hate to part with it. It's a pretty nice looking sword, but my tastes go elsewhere. So yes, I chose this one actually because of the way it was wrapped. According to Geisha's Blade, they say that this style of wrapping, where the menuki, this ornament here that goes under the wrap, is in the center, same as the other one on the side, because I don't know, this was used for like specifically war or big battles, not just to be carried around. Let's give you a close up there. Those are these are real Rayskin panels. The Fushi, Kashira, the Fushi and Kashira, these two, and the I think the Menukis are brass. I'm not sure, they could be coated, but I do know the Suba, the guard, and the sorry, I'm mixing up all of these parts. I don't remember. Well, this one here is a zinc aluminum alloy. The oh man, Habaki. The Habaki is brass, and these two seppas here are also brass. There's one under there. This is not differentially hardened like many katanas out there. This is just plain hardened and tempered. But what I did notice is that with the two other katanas that came to my hand, they did have a distal taper. This one does not. This is the back of the blade. This one actually gets bigger towards the tip, which is interesting. Why that's so? Not so sure. I do have speculations about it, like this could be a cavalry sword to be used on horseback. Sorry, I'm sweating. It's really hot here. Anyways, so this doesn't have this zipper, and it could be so that if you're riding on horseback, you could get more momentum on the swing. You have more weight towards the front. Speaking of which, the center of gravity or center of balance is right there. So that's about 4 inches from the guard, more or less. Yeah. Okay, sword. Can't wait to sell it though, get some money back, buy something else. Sword collecting. And last look at the scabbard. This handle wrap here, the Sukaito, this is synthetic silk, while the one here, I forgot what this is called, but this is a real silk, which is, it's pretty interesting texture. So I'll just put this back. Okay, now I do have some antiques, although I don't like having antiques. I don't prefer collecting antiques. This is just because my great-grandfather collected antique swords, and eventually some of them, not all of them, got passed down to me. This is a Da, D-H-A. This is actually a Filipino Da, which was inspired by, I'm guessing, the Burmese Da. So it's pretty rusty, pretty old, very interesting nonetheless, very light. It's very, very light. Huge handle also for a one-handed sword. It has these little engravings in the blade. There's rust, more rust. There are more of those strange engravings, and they're also on the other side. What's interesting is that it has also this, I don't know if you can see that, where is that, there, this copper fitting in there. I don't know, maybe my guess is that it could signify status, but I don't know. I don't want to make too many assumptions. I'm not that good with this kind of stuff. But yeah, as you can see, the shoulder strap has broken off already. Majority of it's gone. It's slowly falling apart. I really wish this could be restored, but I don't know how to restore. I don't want to touch this kind of stuff. Plus family heirloom, I suppose. Here, one last look at that. All right, very interesting handle here. I think this is a abaca type of fibrous material. So yeah, okay, moving on. Now, this is also one of the other antiques that were passed down to me, except this one is actually hardened and tempered. I can flex it, returns back to straight, and it has been resharpened. As you can see, there are grind lines that go all the way around the thing, and it is sharp. I did tighten up the hilt area so that this is actually usable, and I have used it to cut water bottles before. It seems like a Filipino take on a side sword. Side swords are much bigger than this. This is puny compared to one, but I guess we are small people by biological, all that jazz. Here, let's give you a look at the blade. It has some rust here at the tip. I don't know why. I'm gonna try to get that off eventually. There's the blade. A really, really nice hilt. This pommel is actually hollow. I have seen videos like from Schola Gladiator talking about pommels and hollow ones in particular, and I've never seen one until, well, I checked out the hilt of this sword, I'm like, oh, this pommel's hollow, so interesting. It's attached on by this screw, this nut. Yeah, this guard is brass, I'm pretty sure, and same goes for the wire wrap of the handle there. I did not epoxy everything together, don't worry. This is all pressure fitted because of this nut. I just tightened it really well. And yeah, there's the blade. I left, it seems like, yeah, I didn't leave any wiggle room there, which is good. It does have this ricasso area. This entire area here, including here, is all blunt. I guess left for parrying. But other than that, everything is really, really sharp. So yeah, there you go. Nice side sword. Very small, but cuts really well. Very light too. Center of balance. Where is that? Pretty close to the guard. And it's around there, more or less. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So I will show you actually, this is pretty much all my usable swords, other than that Burmese, not the Burmese, the Da. But I do also have some other weapons that are not sharp, like this. This is a quarterstaff, a 5-foot tall quarterstaff made out of a native wood here in the Philippines called kamagong, which is scientific name. I got it somewhere here. Hold your horses. Diospyros blancoi. It's a family of the ebony tree, for those familiar with that. And because of that, this is very heavy. Like for a small piece of wood, like here, the diameter isn't that big either. But you whack someone with this on the head and you will most likely crush their skull. Or put a big hole in it. Cave it in maybe. But yeah, really nice quarterstaff. I don't know if it's this long. Yeah, you can fit in frame. I'll give you a close-up of the grain. I'm pretty sure this is lacquered. It has this. I'm not sure actually. Could be lacquered. Not so sure about that, but that's what I think. So here you go. It's mainly very dark, as kamagong usually is. The lower quality ones would have more. I don't know if it's the. I think the darker it is, the higher the quality, and the more white areas or light areas you have, the lower the quality. I think that's how it goes. So yeah, nice quarterstaff. When I bought it, I did not notice this actually. It does have these. Let's see if I can find one. It does have these cracks here. I don't know if you can see that. I did not notice that, but when I bought this up in the mountains, when I came down, I finally noticed it. I don't know if it's. I'm kind of iffy about whacking things with it. Basically, I don't want this thing to break and fly off somewhere, so I think we'll just keep it there for now. So yeah, quarterstaff, 5 feet tall. Not big for a quarterstaff. I've seen ones that go way above the user's height, and those users are they're European, so I know you guys are fairly tall, so 7-foot quarterstaff, or I don't know. And last but not the least, rondel dagger. This is, I actually made a video on this, and I wasn't able to get everything, the making of it. This is my only rondel dagger. I couldn't find any others here in the Philippines, so I decided, you know what, I'll make one myself. It's a peened construction. The rondels are aluminum. The wood, it here in our country it's called nyog-nyogan. I'm not sure what I haven't found its English name, or if it even has one. So here, this sheath is actually just a PVC pipe. On the inside it has felt, and I poured oil in there so that it keeps the blade lubricated, and also more felt wrapped around it. And on the back, to stop it, I placed I jammed in a piece of wood to prevent the point from popping out. So yeah, get to the blade. Most rondel daggers I know actually have an edge. This one does not. It's just literally a square bar that has a point on the end. I could not make one with an edge because due to the size of my forge, I cannot heat treat something this big. I'm only limited to small knives. So what I did do is just heat treated just the point here, and turned out okay. Point of balance. I don't know if that's important for rondel daggers, but do it anyways. Right there, about 1.5 inches away from the rondel. So yeah. And I also find it that I know there are techniques in rondel dagger where you grab the blade, so I think I find it a bit more comfortable grabbing something completely blunt rather than something that has an edge on it. But I know you can grab a sharp blade as long as your hand does not slide down yet. So yeah, that's basically my collection. I am working on some other things off camera, sadly, because I really, as much as I hope or I want to have, I don't have the time to set up the camera and just bring you guys along. I'll try to, though. Like, I am working on my first sword, but if you're wondering how am I working on a sword if my forge can't even heat treat something this size, I'm using techniques from the Iron Age. Basically, before heat treating was invented, they'd use iron or very mild steel and hammer harden just the edge of the sword. So trying different techniques, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't. So yeah, that's it. Let me just show you guys what I got here. Yeah, that's basically all of them. Basically, I do have some like really cheap ones that are made locally, but I don't think they're worth bringing up. They're just really bad quality rat tail tanks, bad stainless steel, etc., etc. So yeah, before I get a heat stroke in here, a massive thank you to all of you guys. And also apologies for the lack of video, so I'll try to get this one out as soon as I can. A sneak peek though on future videos. I finally found a HEMA school here in the Philippines, which I've been looking for a long time, and I'm planning to release some sparring videos. I have a couple already up on my personal Facebook page, but I will get those on YouTube as fast as I can after this one. So yeah, look forward to that, I suppose. Hopefully more forging videos. It is the rainy season here right now. It's been raining for a while, so and I'm also I ran out of bench grinder wheels, so I can't. I cannot. My grinding power is just gone. That sounded really weird, but you get what I'm talking about. So yeah, sparring videos for now, HEMA stuff, sword stuff, I guess. I'm hoping to get this channel or whatever this is to a point where it's somewhat like a mix of sword stuff, martial arts, historical European martial arts stuff, and blacksmithing as well. But for now, it's really just a place where I can, if I feel like sharing something, I can share it with you guys. So big thank you for reaching 100 subscribers. I'll see you next time. Bye.